Hello everyone. My name is Brian, animal activist, and today we're going to share some more truths. And we're going to use the background to introduce something new that I never even knew about. So let me change my first background. I know you're excited to try and think, well, what could I possibly show him, right? Well, what about this one? Have you heard of this group? This is Animal Save Movement. What an awesome group. I recently joined Animal Save Movement to try and promote people's education of what happens in the meat industry. It's absolutely disgusting. And you see these people here. This is a slaughter truck, and they're actually on the way to be executed, these animals. They're 6 months old, they're still children. They haven't experienced life or anything, and they want their mum, and they're on the way to be executed. Gas chambers, knives to the throat, and ripped to pieces for pleasure and taste of this world, because we've been manipulated to eat what was put in front of us as a child by our parents. They weaned us onto this stuff. If we would have known as a child that these animals were being executed for our taste and pleasure, you would have never ate them. Now, going forward, 100 years, once you see the truth and understand this, you would have wished you went vegan many, many years ago. So, what else is Animal Safe Movement doing? Well, as you can see right above here, they have a few different groups: Animal Safe Movement, Climate, Health, and the Youth Climate Safe. Now, they actually had a new group come out. I'm going to change the background again. A new group that I was just introduced to, and it's called the Plant-Based Treaty. Now, I did copy some notes here about what this is, and to be more professional, I'm just going to read it rather than go from my memory. The Plant-Based Treaty is a grassroots campaign aiming to pressure governments worldwide to sign an international treaty that would significantly reduce animal culture, promote a shift towards plant-based diets, and combat climate change by halting the expansion of animal farming. Modeled after the Fossil Fuel Treaty, essentially advocating for a global transition away from animal-based food systems to migrate environmental damage. Wow. Did you ever hear of this before? Well, I went to the Plant-Based Treaty YouTube channel, and I've took a little clip from their channel, and I'm going to play that for you guys now. And this is members of the public coming to the government and sharing the Plant-Based Treaty compassion and ideas, and trying to encourage them to make that shift. So please watch.
All right, that passes 5-0. Thank you so much, colleagues. We're going to move on to our last item before excluded consent, and that was the resolution in support of the plant-based treaty. I don't think we need a staff report, but I do believe we have some of our friends in the chambers and public commenters. We have 2 people.
And also, the reason I didn't, that I asked that it stay on rather than putting it on consent is I guess we have gotten some comments from people, about this concern that we are telling people how to eat, what to eat. And I know that, I eat meat. I think Vice Mayor Byers eats meat. Some of us eat meat, and I want to make sure that it's clear to the public what the point of this treaty is, and that there is no expectation that you have on changing our habits, but that hopefully it changes because we learn more. Do you want the public comments? Well, that's my question, so that was...
Okay. Why don't we go to the public comment first, because we have a few of them. So why don't we, and then we'll go back. So I'm gonna, Cesar Espedo, to be followed by Cameron Frey.
Hello, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Council. Thank you for your time. Thank you for having us on the agenda. We really appreciate everything that you do here. Being such a progressive city, it's amazing to be here, and we appreciate everything. We love the fact that you're addressing the plant-based treaty because we're in a climate crisis now, and we can really impact with changing food systems and everyday lifestyles with each and every meal. We're so excited to have the LA Climate Week Town Hall. It was great. So we just really want to show the impact of relinquishing factory farms, redirecting, and then restoring ecosystems to the wildlife and indigenous. So we really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. I don't want to take up all the time. I know we have some other speakers, but thank you so much.
Thank you. Cameron Frey to be followed by Samantha Lau.
Okay. Good evening, council members. My name is Cameron Fry. I'm 26, a member of Gen Z. I'm a part of the Plant-Based Treaty, and I have climate anxiety. Among many initiatives, we at the Plant-Based Treaty aim to highlight the immense levels of environmental harm caused and encouraged by factory farming. We also work to promote plant-based alternatives and land reclamation for indigenous peoples, land conservation, and where applicable, rewilding. I volunteered with Plant-Based Treaty because I believe in this message and that we can fight against climate change firsthand through changing our food systems. I'm so glad that the City of West Hollywood has passed policy requiring that all city-sanctioned events serve plant-based food as a default. I think this policy is great for raising awareness about the importance of plant-based food systems and aids in normalizing the presence of plant-based food in our communities as well. I'm grateful that the City of West Hollywood is considering endorsing the Plant-Based Treaty to implement more plant-based initiatives because we need more sustainable food systems as the climate and environment continues to transform. Cities that endorse the Plant-Based Treaty are not legally bound by the 40 proposals, and it does not mean that they are obliged or able to fulfill the treaty demands. However, cities that endorse the Plant-Based Treaty are encouraged to make meaningful changes and implement good practices in plant-based food policies and rewilding within their own jurisdiction and priorities. I think it would be amazing to have the City of West Hollywood's endorsements of the proposals of the Plant-Based Treaty. Thank you for listening, council members.
Thank you so much. Samantha Lau to be followed by Paige Parsons-Roche. You're fine.
Okay, great. Should I wait for?
Nope, go ahead.
Go ahead, thank you. Okay. Good evening, council members, vice mayor, mayor, and the City of West Hollywood. My name is Samantha, and I'm an elected member of the Los Angeles County Democratic Party for District 49. And I'm also an environmentalist, an animal advocate, and a campaigner at Plant-Based Treaty. Thank you so much for your time and opportunity to speak tonight. We really appreciate the council for putting Plant-Based Treaty on the agenda tonight. Thank you, Vice Mayor Byers, for supporting our efforts in fighting climate change. I want to commend the City of West Hollywood for WeHo 40. It is a very comprehensive roadmap that focuses on improving the quality of life for the community. Furthermore, your climate action and sustainability plan has a very achievable goal of reaching city carbon neutrality by 2035 and bolster resilience of city operations by considering climate resilience goals and policy decisions. The carbon neutrality goal is especially attainable if you support the Plant-Based Treaty, which helps reduce dramatically carbon, nitrous oxide, and methane emissions. The Plant-Based Treaty also calls upon local, state, and national governments to restore key ecosystems through rewilding and prioritizing native ecology to create more sustainable communities, which will help to shore up resiliency. To put it simply, Plant-Based Treaty can help WeHo reach your climate goals. Again, I appreciate the City Council and the City of West Hollywood for the bold actions that they have taken and continue to build on and urge the city to adopt this resolution to help meet these goals. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Paige Parsons-Roche to be followed by Chris Tucker.
Good evening. Thank you, elected officials, for this opportunity to share about the Plant-Based Treaty. I brought some education up because I am an educator, and I joined this campaign several months ago to bring forth the message of the importance of plant-based foods on our plates for our climate crisis mitigation and solutions. I'm a mom. My daughter came home at 13 years old 9 years ago saying she was vegan. I didn't quite understand what all that meant, but being a climate activist already, I got interested and learned about our climate crisis solutions being add more plants onto our plates. So with the plant-based treaty being here in Hollywood, West Hollywood, a lot happens here, very progressive city, and the ripple effect, the possibility is just immense around the world. So thank you very much for considering this. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Chris Tucker to be followed by Justine Block.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for putting this on the agenda tonight and hearing some public comments. I'm actually here to say thank you on behalf of myself and my husband, who have lived in the city for a combined 30 years. We appreciate your actions towards a cleaner and healthier community. By endorsing the plant-based treaty, you'll only be furthering the eco-impact. I'm a vegan chef here in the city of West Hollywood that's provided food for events like the Elton John Oscar party that happens annually in West Hollywood Park. And I look forward to working closely with the city as a liaison to our local restaurants and bars to help implement more plant-forward dishes in their establishments. From delicious plant-based steaks to traditional bar food, the plant-based market has truly transformed in the last several years. Expanding menus and having more inclusive options will only expand businesses' capacity for new guests, all while making healthier, climate-conscious options. The plant-based treaty and being vegan by default doesn't restrict or limit people's options. It actually does the complete opposite. It's not about taking away people's options to have a steak. It's about giving people the choice to enjoy a plant-based option as well. It's my hope that the city of West Hollywood will continue to move the goalposts forward when it comes to sustainability efforts as they relate to food. Being plant-based by default at all city events is a great start, but my hope would be that we can expand the groundwork into all local WeHo businesses and make them as inclusive as the rest of our city is. With 62% of our residents considering environmental sustainability an extreme urgent issue, I hope the city will continue to mitigate its greenhouse gases through the leading climate suffocator, animal agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you. Justine Block, and then we'll go to our two speakers on Zoom.
Good evening. I'm Justine Block, an environmental law attorney and longtime resident of our wonderful city of West Hollywood. I served on the former East Side Working Group as well as the General Plan Update Advisory Committee many years ago. So I'm here to support the city's adoption of a resolution urging the United States to support a plant-based treaty. I am just adding to some of the information that the plant-based treaty folks already provided, which I hope addressed Councilmember Meister's concerns from the residents. Research shows that plant-based meals have a 63% lower carbon footprint than animal-based meals. Adoption of this resolution would support shifting to a plant-based food system to combat climate change, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and reduce other harms of animal agriculture. I appreciate the Vice Mayor for initiating this resolution and for all of you to be considering it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justine. Lovely to hear from you. We're going to move to our speakers on Zoom.
Our first speaker is Ellen Dent. Ellen, you'll have 2 minutes. Please press *6 to unmute.
Thank you very much, and thank you to West Hollywood City Council members, Mayor Erickson, Vice Mayor Byers. I want to express my gratitude to your council for considering adopting the plant-based treaty resolution today that will encourage our national government to endorse and enact plant-based food policies. Special thanks to Vice Mayor Chelsea Byers for her support in introducing this vital measure, along with Jennifer Del Toro and Andy Lovano for helping draft the resolution. Animal agriculture accounts for over a third of global greenhouse gas emissions. The need to transition to plant-based food system has never been more necessary to lessen our contribution to the climate crisis we are facing. By passing the plant-based treaty, West Hollywood will help lead the way for residents to empower and educate themselves about the benefits of plant-based lifestyles, while supporting the city's efforts to reduce emissions and achieve carbon neutrality under the Climate Action and Adaptation Plan by 2035. In addition, this endorsement will pave the way for other municipalities around the world to put truly sustainable food systems at the forefront of solutions to preventing the worsening environmental impacts. I hope that you will choose to pass the resolution, and in doing so, leave a legacy for future generations to follow as we do our best to live in harmony with our ecosystems. I'm so grateful for your time. I want to just address Councilmember Meister's concerns. 30% of the people who have endorsed the plant-based treaty that respond about their diets are actually omnivores. It is not legally binding, like Cameron said. It's just acknowledging that plant-based food systems are a great
Thank
way
you so
to
much,
combat the
Ellen.
climate crisis.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Joey Gaber. Joey, go ahead. Press *6 to unmute.
Hello, members of the City Council, the Mayor and the Vice Mayor. Thank you so much for bringing forth this resolution to call on the United States to support the plant-based treaty. First of all, I want to thank the City of West Hollywood for being leaders in both sustainability and reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. I also appreciate City staff for putting together their report highlighting how this resolution will support and reinforce City goals to adapt to the current climate crisis. They highlighted that this resolution is consistent with City efforts towards reducing greenhouse gas emissions, as well as their currently adopted policies. One of the most important parts of the plant-based treaty is how it addresses land use changes, given that the beef industry has accounted for 80% or more of deforestation in the Amazon rainforest. It also calls for the restoration of key ecosystems and generally creating a global food system that is sustainable and equitable to everyone. I also want to specifically address the concerns citizens communicated to Councilmember Meister, which are very valid concerns, that this would mandate anyone to eat plant-based. It's much more about creating a system change to educate people, fight for food justice, and combat climate change. Even in the event of the world adopting a plant-based treaty, absolutely nobody would be compelled to give up meat. Rather, it is demanding both ecological and food justice, as a plant-based food system will give access to whole plant foods for all people while fighting to restore our most important resource in the fight against climate change, our natural ecology. By calling on the U.S. to endorse the plant-based treaty, West Hollywood has the opportunity to once again continue the city's leadership in fighting for a sustainable food system and ultimately fighting to prevent climate change. And again, I just want to thank the entirety of the City Council for the opportunity to speak today and urge you to adopt this resolution.
Thank you. That concludes public comment. Vice Mayor Byers?
Thank you. Thank you all so much for taking the time to come out and share. We all know this education and awareness is what leads to the inspiration for people to make these changes in their lives. And so I'm really grateful to you all for paving the way. And Councilmember Meister, just as a direct response, this is, as you've heard, not about forcing anyone, but truly motivating and inspiring that personal level action while we as council members make decisions to scale that impact. And as we did with the plant-based default policy, we're making another decision tonight that's deeply in alignment with our climate action and adaptation plan. What I learned by doing that plant-based default menu work with Mercy for Animals was that we're one of the few cities that has named food systems and agriculture systems as part of the work to undo and eliminate carbon emissions from the planet, so that we are a city that is that forward thinking and understanding the way food systems and agriculture have contributed to the harm and degradation of our planet is incredible. And it's our work as a council to continue finding ways to bring that information to light and ensure that we're advancing ideas around that. So that's why I wanted to bring the plant-based treaty forward. We have incredible community members who have been advocating for this for a very long time. And they mentioned along with it, there are 40 actionable steps, many of which we are already on our way to doing, and others we have work to do. So I'm really grateful to be in partnership with you all and helping us as a city think more deeply about how we can keep on focus when it comes to this. Hearing folks who live with climate anxiety, I share that too. It's what's motivated a lot of my work. And I know future generations are desperate and doing everything we can to get ahead of this race to protect our planet. So I really appreciate you all being here tonight, and I appreciate the council for considering this. Thanks.
Thank you. Would you like to make a motion?
We'll motion to support.
Can I make a comment?
Sure. Yes, of course.
Thank you. So I'm really glad that this didn't go on consent, because I think it's really important for people to understand, you know, why this is being done, rather than going on consent and then, you know, nobody hears about it. They just have concerns and they don't know the answers to the concerns. So for me, hearing all of you actually saying, you know, it's not about taking away options, it's about increasing options, and it's about education. And that's why I support this item. So thank you. Thank you for coming.
All right, we'll vote.
Wow. Elliot, very empowering to see people actually speak up to the rulers and authorities of this world, right? So, hey, let me share my screen. Oh, how do I share again? Give me a second. I think this is the one. Okay, there we go. This is the Plant-Based Treaty group on YouTube. Search YouTube for the Plant-Based Treaty. Go ahead and subscribe and follow them. They have hundreds of videos already in there. Just click on the video tab on the latest, and you can review these in your own time and see what a difference. Look at all these people speaking up. This is crazy, to the governments. So this is an amazing organization. Oh, I recognize this person here. She's amazing. This is Emma Hurst. I know you can see my mouse on, because let me make this full screen. I can't play it. Oh, it's another stupid advertisement. Let me zip past the advertisement. Sorry for the advertisement, but this is Emma Hurst. She's a politician in Australia that is 100% vegan, and she's trying to make the same changes there in Australia. Maybe I can play it. Maybe her lips are in sync, and I'll give it like, you know, 1 minute. Okay. Her lips were in sync or not. So, so there we go. And let me stop sharing my screen. So please, you know, check out animalsavemovement.org, and you'll have full access to all the different, you know, Animal Save, the health, the youth, environmental, and the plant-based treaty. You'll have access to all those features. You can join, you can make donations, you know, whatever you want to do. Be you. That's the thing. Don't be manipulated by this world or by me, you know. I could be crazy, right? I don't think so, no. I share the truth. I speak up for animals that don't want to die. I'm an animal activist, and I encourage you to check out that channel, Plant-Based Treaty, on YouTube, and make up your own mind. Thank you for watching, guys.